Hello everyone. This means unity. It's what it means, and it's very important, and this is very, and also let's say the Holy Grail connected with the Mother, which is so important upon the planet. So, hello everyone. I am Rick Jors for those of you that may not know me yet, and I'm going to speak about the very important gpms, the reasoning for it, why it's occurring, and why every one of you upon the planet wishes to be a part of it. So, gpms is a very simple concept. What it is we have a worldwide website called gpms.world, and what the acronym stands for is the Global People's Monetary System. So this means a monetary system which is owned by the people, the 99%, and not the 1%. It also means that there is simplified law within the gpms as well, which is also part of the title. And it's based on divine natural law, and of course sovereignty plays a big role into this as well. So, with gpms, for anyone that is agreeing and consenting and joining to be a part of this worldwide voice, there is also a sovereignty decree which is in there when you consent, when you agree to join this voice. So, gpms, what it is the vehicle, the tool to collect the choice individually of every human upon the planet, to collect the voice in one place worldwide. And that is every child. If a child is 1 second old, the child's voice counts as one vote, if you will, the same as every adult. So we collect the voices of everyone that wishes to agree to the new reality, what is written in the gpms website. And that reality, what is written in there, is your full liberation, your full freedom, your full abundance, your full harmony, your full loving reality beyond your wildest dreams. And guess what? It can be created almost instantly, but it depends upon the size of the voice worldwide. So, however, it is divinely assured, and I am one of the guardians to assure that, among others. And there are ones of you watching that are also guardians of this to assure that it does go to fruition. And it does. Nothing stops this. Now, I am in direct connection with the Father aspect of Prime Creator, and that's why it's called also the Divine Plan. And it's been delivered to the planet for this special time of the Great Awakening. For this is what all of you upon the planet have been standing up to fight against the old evil. You've been fighting for this, the deliverance, the new reality, which liberates you all. So you do not actually need to fight with aggression nor violence, but it is great to put up an opposition, to put up a front against the evil governments and what have you, but at the same time to unite the voice. For upon the planet, the majority of the people are good of heart, peaceful, loving people. And with that, very quickly, with that majority, you create the voice, and the voice creates the reality, what's contained within GPMS. So it's a simple concept, meaning that we collect the voice, and all together, once you have the majority upon the planet agreeing to the reality which is contained within the GPMS, which is all inclusive for everyone, anything they ever could imagine that they wanted, then what occurs, the majority voice takes complete ownership, claims complete ownership, which is rightfully theirs, over the entire financial infrastructure, routing system upon the planet, and the entire infrastructure of everything ever built. For technically and rightfully, it is owned by every one of you. Every one of us are an owner of this. So when you take this rightful ownership by the majority of the voice, which everyone can see, then what occurs is that we operate the planet the way we want to for the greatest benefit for all, which is contained again within the GPMS. And nothing can oppose what GPMS is. For if they oppose it or not wish to support it, it quickly shows that they're not in alignment with the most humane deliverance and advancement of humanity forward. So, having said this, nothing can stand against this, no governments, no banks, or what have you, for it's all inclusive, and the majority voice upon the planet wishes this for their reality. So what we are doing is spreading the message out, letting everyone know you have a choice. If you wish to support the old reality you're seeing out there, or if you wish to choose this new reality and join with all that are creating it. And really, there is no choice. No one would want the old, for sure. So, it's a simple concept. It is with the sovereignty to the degree that all of your inalienable rights, your God-given rights, are respected and honored by everyone. This is part of the simplified law where we're going. Now, it's a full monetary system as well, which what we have done, it flips the tables on the old 1%. It takes away the full power what they have, and it gives the full power, the creation of money, to the 99% as a collective, the 99% upon the planet. And having said this, to take the power away from the old, we just simply have the 99% activating their intrinsic value as an individual, meaning they are able to create unlimited funds for themselves. However, it would in the past be limited, like cryptos, communities making their own money. It would be limited by the dark forces, and they would be separated, that it would not have an effect in the outside world and would not be accepted. So this way, by just everyone joining together and activating the intrinsic value of the self, then it takes away the full power of governments and bankers that would use gold as a backing, if you will, and the ones that would give you that illusion that currency had to have a material backing. That is the illusion. It is not correct. And they never really did it. The bankers, they created just money out of thin air with their fingertips. but they made you dependent upon it. And they created that illusion that you needed to be dependent on their money. What I need to say, that is no longer the case. You have a choice to be dependent upon their money, be in starvation, enslavement, or what have you, or you have the choice to join all together with the voice of GPMS and everyone enjoy comfortable prosperity, harmony, um, all of the beautiful things that are contained within the GPMS. So it's your full deliverance with that. So what we have done divinely, we have flipped the tables on the darkness by activating the intrinsic value within each. There is no way that they can control you, because they control the gold and the riches, and where they have their markets that dictates the value of gold or precious metals, then they control the value of the currency. If they control the value of the gold, then they control you. So what we do is just activate the intrinsic value, which does not need any of those outside assets to back it. And that takes away their full power, and it places the full power into the people, into humanity. So it's that is the simple idea of it, and it is the simple concept, but it is also the divine concept, and it is the divine reasoning for the Great Awakening and what is occurring. So the Great Awakening is occurring where you can also say the super consciousness or the higher consciousness by individuals is being obtained to see through the illusion of the darkness, where they have subjugated you and made you dependent on an illusionary money, which you don't need to be. So they enslaved you and attached you to that. GPMS is the freedom, is the deliverance from that old control and enslavement. So that is why the tables have been flipped, and why the entire Great Awakening is occurring. So I got some notes, taken down with this. It's important in this time that everyone be transparent, fully out there. Transparency and unity is the key. This is how we get this done. Any ventures, even though they're goodwill ventures in the past, where they did not have transparency and unity, there was nothing to support them. So anything, if you see concealment, NDAs or whatever, it's not transparent and it cannot go anywhere. The moment that you see anything needs to be concealed, these are this is from a state of fear, and it cannot go forward. You have to have the state of no fear and trust within you, and to know that to separate yourself or to conceal a goodwill venture, that's not going anywhere. It's not divinely supported. And when you feel you need to conceal, again, that is out of fear. And fear resides down in the lower density, and you'll remain in that type of reality as long as you keep doing it. Up here is the place of unity and no fear, where all of the people are at in the perfect harmony. So for anything to be fully divine and pure, it has to be absent of fear. And that fear can come in the form of concealment, as I said. And at this most special, important time, I strongly suggest for all to not be into anything that is concealed. It's not pure, it's not divine. It'll keep you looping, it will keep you disempowered. So that is important. Excuse me. Now, what else do I got here? So with gpms, again, it is the next layer. So you have I gotta move a thing on my screen here. So what you have is right here, down here, these are the masses that were not awakened. Then you have right here the next level, the Great Awakening. You have the ones that are awakened to know what is wrong. Now right up here is where GPMS is. So once these awakened ones become more aligned to know why they were awakened to this level, from not being awake to awakening and standing up, then the next level is the GPMS, which is the freedom for all upon the planet. So as they become more aligned to know the reason why they are awakening, the reason why the darkness was trying to restrict them, the governments worldwide, the GPMS is the direction. This is the reason why the evil were very afraid at attempting to retain control from the people, but they also could not do it. And divinely, the people has risen above that illusion of the darkness. Now the people just need to know the direction, so it's important to get this message, all GPMS messages, out to the people. And having said this, we have begun to get the message also on some of the convoys, some of the trucks as well, and also hopefully very soon to have the GPMS message at all of the protests, if you will, worldwide. And by doing this, it gives everyone the direction of what all this is occurring for and why they are doing the full liberation and the full freedom. And in the very, very, very near future, there is no politics, there is no governments. It is the people with administrative councils that are all working together. So the whole political arena, that show, that game is all eliminated, for it was all, again, all of the political parties were all, for the most part, connected to part of the old controlling regime, and they were bought off. You would have politicians, that you could see in the past had good intent, but once they got inside, very quickly, their platform promises, if you will, changed and never come to fruition because they were bought off. And it didn't matter what party really it was. Sure, you had over the last decade or so, you had some emerging parties with good intents, but as you could see, they never got into power because it was assured by the darkness that they wouldn't. But politics don't need any of that any longer. And also, what is not going to occur in this new reality is any hierarchy, if you will. There is no kings and queens upon the planet. There is only the guardians and the assistants to keep humanity moving forward as a whole. So there is no one that is better than another. And of course, the old thing of the past is what started the rulership. When you had kings and queens that sat on a throne and had servants, that is going. No longer is that a case. And that is not the divine way forward for humanity. It's all working together as a team with no kings and queens. So keep that in mind. That is very important as well. So Children's voice, every child's voice counts, and that's important as well. If they're 1 second old, um, the child's parents are the guardians, and they can register the voice with gpms. And as I said, with gpms, it's important that everyone consents and puts their vote in there, for it is this collection of votes, the numbers worldwide, that is the magic. Once you have the recorded majority, then nothing can oppose it nor stand against it for what it is. And with anyone, if you just take the time to look at the total full inconclusivity of gpms, you will see that if anything that would oppose it, that it's not divine, and that it's not about unity and for humanity. So this is why I say nothing can oppose it, and there is no loopholes in it whatsoever, for it's fully divine, and it is the divine deliverance for humanity, and also this full reality. And I speak from a place, as I mentioned, yes, I know the plan, the divine plan. I know what it is. I share it with many of you, who I am, what I am. It doesn't matter to me if you believe or not, for time is our witness. This is not about an ego trip for Rick. I am about 5%, 10% Rick. The rest is divine. And believe me, as for Rick, I did not need to be doing what I'm doing. If this was just about Rick, I would have been in the mountains of British Columbia going through the forest. But this is a divine, it's my divine mission, what I'm supposed to be doing upon the planet. And it's fully supported also by what you could consider the supernatural, which is the divine, and the off-world component, and of course prime creator, mother and father aspects, both. And that is truth, full truth. Now, it is so easy. It is so easy to operate the entire logistics of the planet. And when the voice is collective, you have all of the skill set that can operate everything so efficiently, but so much more easily, as you remove the old restrictions of control that don't serve and don't need to be there. So there is no nations, there is no patriotism, no nationalism. It's one world as a whole. So you remove the segregation and the separatism that was caused by the darkness, that used to cause different countries, and to pin ones with different beliefs and cultures against each other. That is no longer the case. The whole world will be one with their own beliefs, what they wish to have. However, there is nothing to fight about any longer. Also, the gpms is the full integration as well of world peace, harmony, all of this. So with that, you no longer need militaries, and eventually you will need no police forcing and police forces at all either. So it's all very rapidly changing. So the way that the governments existed today was that ones would support and think, that that ones needed the governments to do things for them. So this is no longer the case, as I said. All you do is create this voice, and this is what creates the reality. So you no longer need to vote for the minority politicians that live that lavish lifestyle while you keep working and paying taxes and all the other ridiculous games that they had tricked you into believing. So that is all being broken down. So it's so easy to operate a free, harmonious world where there is no competition, there is no reason for a profit or to gain. There is no capitalism with this when you just keep receiving the money that you need to flourish and go forward. So there is no attachments. It's a full free flow system. You don't need any big cave full of jewels and precious metals to support your full free reality. All you need to do is just make a choice that comes from within. And once everyone or enough makes this choice, then this is the reality, GPMS for all. So the children, as I mentioned, it's so important that their voice is heard now, for it is their reality, it is their future as well. So it's absolutely totally important, and it's rightfully so that they have a say in it, and it's rightfully so their parents as guardians to assure their beautiful future, that they can speak for them if they're unable to speak yet. So, you do have a choice. How quickly can GPMS occur? Very quickly, within 2 months. It depends on everyone getting the message out there, sharing and assisting it, and once we get this worldwide voice that is big enough to do it, then it changes. But it happens very quickly. Once you get into 100 million, it goes viral very quickly with this. So we keep going forward, remain with it. Any of you, what you are doing currently, do not have any doubt, and keep going forward at getting that message out. And the more that assists at getting the message out, the quicker it comes to fruition. And let me say with this, if the governments and worldwide, if they actually did have humanity's best interest in mind, and if they did want you liberated, what GPMS is doing with the inception, they could do it in 2 days. But they haven't done it yet because that is not their intent, and they will not do it. Because their intent was to enslave, control, suppress, and keep ones into misery. And again, that's no longer the divine reality that will be here. And this is also why the Great Awakening is happening, to get everyone in alignment with the new reality that is going there, which is the majority. So, every spiritual teacher, every ascension teacher, every healer out there should be also carrying this GPMS message to give to the ones you are assisting. For simply, when you give them this new reality, what is being created before their eyes, it's not a false hope, for it's created by the unity of the people. Very quickly you raise their vibration, and you quickly allow them to see the remaining things they must do within. So the moment that you alleviate that stress from them by giving them the direction, they rise very quickly. And with this, before before Father gave me the gpms to initiate it here and to write it up, what I was doing was assisting individuals and groups, um, at some gatherings, if you will, assisting them with the tools how to liberate their self. And I've, even though I've came into physical contact with thousands, assisting them over the last few years, Father said, Rick, you'll be a billion years at trying to assist everyone like this. The one thing to do is to eliminate that stress of the money. Then all raise up. Then they heal very quickly. So you take um, what's the word? You take that one factor anyway out of the equation, then they rise. You take that stress away, and that's what this does. And then everyone opens up and realizes that they are free. So very quickly you eliminate most sickness, and the rest goes shortly thereafter, and everyone begins to heal very quickly. And not only the individuals, also the planet, with all of the restoration. And upon the inception, when you look at the website gpms.world, you will see that not only are the individuals activating their intrinsic value, we are also activating value for all of the essential goods and services, unlimited funding for them. So everything with the planet, the entire restoration of the planet, at like planting trees and cleaning up garbage, all of that is fully funded to be done, and all of the resources are quickly brought in alignment to do it quickly. So you can see when you have, let's say, 6 or 7 billion people worldwide all doing the one thing to clean the planet up, how quickly it gets cleaned up and restored to a pristine environment that is beautiful and lush as well. So the benefits and with the gpms are greater than anything ever known to man, and all it takes is the individual choices to sign up to create the voice that makes it happen. And with the beauty of the internet today, and with the ability for things to go viral, very quickly you can gather this voice. And I continue to say, within 2 months this could be done. I've said this in March, when we released the worldwide website, that it could have been done then, and that is still so. It can be done. However, it depends on everyone and their voice at making this choice. Creating the voice is what gets it done. If you don't create the voice, for example, this would not get created. It's that simple, and all of you would be controlled, and all of the efforts that you've done over the years would just loop you back into the old control system by the darkness. But that's assured that doesn't happen. So the most common sense and the most logic is to create this worldwide voice right now. So if you're part of a sovereign community, then you know the basics also of what's going on. And it's important to get all of your groups all together, united as one voice with gpms. The times of separation is no more, and it will not get you anywheres, as most are seeing. So I'll have now a quick glance to see if there's any questions. Okay, it looks pretty quiet down here. Any questions now? If you do, just put a few out, and I will answer a few questions, and we'll keep this as short video as I can. Thank you. Destry Stokes says, okay, do we need to join something? Yeah, GPM, join the voice, gpms.world. It's where everyone's coming together to work as the teams. So join the voice, yes. Go in and consent and give your agreement that this is what you want. And then join the others that are making it the reality. Thank you. Carolyn Lanier Roberts says individual ascension and combined ascension. Yes, absolutely. It's what everyone individually began to work upon themselves for the ascension, but it is a combined planetary ascension as well. So the ones needed to be powered up, the co-creators to also affect and create the new reality, but to join all together, this is the key, the unity for all to join together in the co-creation. Then it becomes like a flash, and it just occurs more instantly when you have everyone aligned with the one common goal. Then it gets created much faster. Thank you. Okay, I'll keep this short. I'll just put GPMS into the comments, and anyone watching this can check it out and get consented and give it to all of your friends and family that want this. They don't need to be awake. I simply suggest just show them the comparison page on the website, the old versus the new, and instantly it shows how they'll choose the new and say, yeah, where do I join, with this. So there you go. So it's a new reality. The quicker you join, the quicker we get it created. So I see one question. Are we free travel without vax? Yes, in the very near future, everyone is free to travel. There are no borders and all of this. So whether you're vaxxed or not, that is part of the old. And again, with the new, there is no one to tell you what you need to have in your body and what you don't want. It's the full medical freedom, for this is your freedom of choice, which is part of your unalienable rights. For each individual, if you will, as a child of God, you alone have the choice what you wish to put in your body, and no one should be able to hold you down and, let's say, force alcohol into your mouth if you don't want it. And that's the same way you can look at what was going on with some of the other attempted coercion. So everyone truly is fully free. You just need to choose it now. And so it is. So having said that, I thank you all, and much love and light and much gratitude, and have an amazing day, and you persevere, you navigate through all these energies, and everything is beautiful. So your new beautiful reality is only a blink of an eye away. You just need to choose it. Unity, love, light, and much gratitude, and have an amazing day. Thank you.